Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing today? Double check everything before we get started here. All right. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, very good. Everybody can hear me. Speakers working. Everything's good. We are live. Very, very good. All right, very good. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So tonight's we're going to be doing a little bit something different here. Tonight we're going to be doing question and answer session. So things are going to be just slightly a little bit different than what we're used to. I've been trying to get around to this question and answer session for a while. The questions have been coming in, and I kept saying that I'm going to read the questions on the show. I'll do the questions, I'll get to everything, but I just never really did get around to it until now, ladies and gentlemen. And so now we're going to actually get started on this. So I want to welcome everybody to the show. This is my free live streaming show that I do every Monday, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see, as we always do before each week, because I'm doing real estate. Another couple deals here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, 500,000 on this one, and this one is the 400,000 one, and I have the 170,000 plus another one that we'll be picking up. So the real estate business is very active, and we're going to be talking about the real estate business and how much money we're going to be making, how much commission you're going to be making, and so forth. So let's do this as we're looking for. Hold on 1 second. So we're going to be talking about the questions and answers on this, and as we go along. So let's do this. Speed up the process. Okay, very, very good, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to welcome everybody here to the show tonight. I'm Warren Nelson, director of Online Real Estate School Incorporated and sponsor of this free live streaming real estate class. And I'm also proud owner of a podcast called Real Estate Saved My Lifestyle, and I'm also the guest speaker on that as well. This is the quickest hour in real estate, and I want to welcome everyone to tonight's show. A question and answer is going to be the tonight's show of questions and answers, getting back to everybody's questions and answers. You may also, if you like, ladies and gentlemen, leave your questions during this episode, and I will try to answer them along with the questions that we have to answer as well. So let's do this. Go home and see. Okay, very good. Because I want to try to answer everybody's questions while we're on the live streaming platform. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Warren Nelson. I am the owner of Online Real Estate School and the director. I'll also be your instructor. And this class that I do every Monday is to give you a chance to interview me, to see what it's going to be like to have an instructor, a live instructor, the questions that will be asked in the real estate classroom, and also what you're going to be experiencing along the lines of being in a real estate classroom as well. So opening up all the windows so I can look at the questions and comments from everybody. It's not easy maneuvering everything as we go along, ladies and gentlemen, and it gets a little confusing to watch myself as we go along. But again, as I said, we want to make sure that we do have everybody's questions being answered as we go along, so I can see the questions as we go along. Alright, so we have Twitter, Facebook, we need LinkedIn opened up, and then we will be set and ready to go. There we are. I'm going to see the questions already coming in on LinkedIn. Alright, very, very good. And let's do this. We have this. Okay, very, very good. Alright, alright. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, very, very good. So we have everything all set up. Now, let's get to our question and answering session. That's what I said we'll be doing today. So questions. What type of classes are offered? Well, there are many types of classes that are offered from a pre-licensed class all the way to broker's classes to financial classes and so forth. The classes that you're going to need when you first start out is going to be called pre-license education. Before getting your real estate license. And in the state, each state has their own licensing requirement. In the state of Pennsylvania, you are required to take a 75-hour state mandated class of real estate practice and real estate fundamentals in order to sit for the exam. So, what type of classes are offered? I offer pre-licensed classes, the 75-hour pre-licensed classes. Next question. Is it hard to get a real estate license? No, it's the same 75 hours for you as it is for anybody else, ladies and gentlemen. However, each of us is different in our capacity. I always hear students always saying to me immediately, I don't test very well and I'm not very good at math. And these are negative electrodes that happen that kind of hold you back, and it kind of shuts the brain off a little bit. And so in my class, I'm going to teach you how to work the brain and make the whole curriculum a whole lot more entertaining and interactive so that the learning experience is a lot better. And so the answer to the question is, how hard is it to get a real estate license? It depends on each and every individual and their style, but it also depends on the school that you take, ladies and gentlemen, and what kind of curriculum do they have. Do they have somebody just reading a book to you? Is it going to be PowerPoint presentations? Is it going to be recordings and videos? So each of us is different. Some of us like those postcards. Some of us like to write things down. Some of us pretty much can just remember just about anything. So each of us have an individual style of learning, and so it will be on you to figure out how hard it is and how well you study to pass the exam. But my course, please read my review. The students love the curriculum I put together, where we incorporate real live cases, court cases, events with the learning so that you can learn and experience at the same time. All right, so next question. What kind of education do you need to be a real estate agent? And you're going to start seeing a lot of similarities to the questions as we go. So I kind of broke the questions down into a chart so we don't get redundant. What kind of education do you need to be a real estate agent? Where do I take my state licensing exam? Are the requirements the same for commercial and residential real estate agents? So these are all kind of grouped together, these questions. And so, like to see, can I share my screen here? Yes, let's do that. Let's share my screen. And let's do this. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the state licensing, that would be PSI here in the state of Pennsylvania. And PSI has some on-site testing centers. As you can see in Philadelphia, they have two of them that are close, King of Prussia and Bala Cynwyd. These are the testing centers where you would go to take your state exam after you take a 75-hour required class. And so if you're in Pittsburgh, or if you are in Scranton or Allentown, as you can see, there's not a lot of testing centers that the state contracts with PSI. PSI is the testing center that has the contract with the state to do all the state testing. So it's with PSI, and these are their addresses, their location. Philadelphia, King of Prussia, Harrisburg, Greenburgh, Erie, Cranberry Township, Bristol. There's another one that's close by, Allentown, and Scranton. So these are, but now remember, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to take the test in person. You can take these state exams proctored now, for the most part. At least the real estate exam you can. So the real estate exam you can take it proctored, which means you could do it online rather than going to the testing centers that you see. So the question was, where do we take the exams and how hard is the exams? Now, again, we're getting there as we get closer and closer, ladies and gentlemen. What kind of education do you need? As I said, high school diploma, ladies and gentlemen, let's not get too hung up on the high school diploma. And let's understand that to become a licensed real estate agent, high school diploma is a requirement, but it's not going to be required by the state to take the state licensing exam. That your broker will be required to have high school diploma on file. And I don't know a lot of brokers, ladies and gentlemen, that want to see high school diploma, GED transcripts, or anything like that. They're basically going to believe that if you say you have a high school diploma or GED, that you do have one. So the state doesn't quite require it for your licensing. Your broker may however, require, but you will be a licensed real estate agent for 3 years. And after 3 years in the state of Pennsylvania, you will be qualified to go for your broker's exam. If you so choose to go for your broker's exam, then a high school diploma would be a much more requirement. So not so much for the real estate agent. To be a real estate licensee, the high school diploma is not such a big factor, so don't worry about that as much. Same thing with criminal background check, ladies and gentlemen. The Real Estate Commission does not require a criminal background check to take the state exam. Once again, it'll be on your broker to require the criminal background check to have it on file. And it'll also be up to the broker to decide if your background warrants employment or doesn't. So I would not put a lot of stock into the criminal background, as well as we do have programs where we're trying to do work release programs from prison into the real estate arena in one area or another. And so the state and the real estate broker really doesn't want to hold you back. So let me give you an example. If you got a DUI and that is a felony, that's not something that the broker or the state's really going to hold you back from having a real estate license. But if you have burglary, larceny, check forgery, maybe the real estate commission, but it's up to the real estate commission to do an investigation to determine whether your background will prevent you from having a real estate license or not. So don't think that having something in your background is automatically going to deter you or prevent you from becoming a licensed real estate agent. That is not really the situation, ladies and gentlemen. The state's going to be very flexible and as lenient as they possibly can. Same thing with your broker. So understand this is definitely a second chance in life, and try to take advantage of it if you can, ladies and gentlemen. So, okay, very good. So, now, the other part of the question was commercial and residential real estate agents. Do you need a separate license? The answer is no. Not here in the state of Pennsylvania, ladies and gentlemen. Your real estate license will allow you to do residential and commercial. And yes, you do need a real estate license to do either residential or commercial. I'm surprised to hear how many commercial real estate agents out there think that they don't need a real estate license to be a commercial real estate agent. That would be inaccurate, ladies and gentlemen. So you do need a real estate license. You even need a real estate license to sell hole in the ground, like cemeteries and graveyards and mausoleums and plots and so forth. You need a real estate license for that as well. You need a real estate license to sell any real estate, whether it is surface or subsurface real estate, even air rights. The air lot, you want to build a 20-story high-rise building, where you're going to need to buy the air lots for each one of those floors before you can build this 20-story building. So air rights, surface rights, subsurface rights, all real estate. And you need a real estate license to sell real estate. Also, when it comes to timeshares and campground memberships, you need a real estate license for this as well. And when you decide to rent property or manage property or lease property for others, and you're going to take that lease and you're going to take the security deposit, you once again need to be licensed by the state to perform these acts. Performing these acts without a real estate license is a criminal act, ladies and gentlemen, and punishable by prison time and fine. So understand that's what you're taking this class for, to learn what you can and cannot do under that licensing requirement. So a real estate license will allow you to do residential and commercial real estate. You don't need a separate license. Okay, so the next question. Do you need to go to school to be a real estate agent? The answer is yes, you do. Now, certain doctorates, certain degrees will allow you, under certain circumstances, to get into the real estate business. But for the most part, the state requires you to take a class that conducts the 75-hour pre-licensing requirement of real estate practice and real estate fundamentals. Real estate fundamentals, ladies and gentlemen, is the legal stuff. State law, city law, federal law, what you can and cannot do, the American Disability Act, the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, FACTA, FICO, I'm sorry, not FICO, um, fiduciary responsibilities and so forth. So when we get into the legal aspects of it and your fiduciary responsibilities, your legal responsibilities, this is what the state wants you to understand. As a licensed real estate professional, you will have legal requirements to the client. After all, ladies and gentlemen, think about it. You got the client's date of birth, you got the client's social security number, you got the client's employment information, and you're going to be legally responsible in the course of your business of real estate to be responsible for somebody else's information. We don't want identity theft. We don't want criminal activity. And so, as a real estate agent licensed by the state, you're going to have to conduct yourself in a certain way. Your behavior has to be professional, and you will have to have professional conduct when you have other people's information. So real estate fundamentals talks about the safeguarding of other people's information, to protect it from privacy issues, and it also talks about your job as far as guiding them through an agreement of sale, representing them so that they understand the time factors and so forth. So as a real estate agent, you will have a lot of responsibilities, and the real estate commission wants to make sure that you understand those responsibilities by taking this class. The real estate practice part talks about you actually being side by side with your client, going into the properties, making offers, going through the property home inspection, the termite inspection, the appraisal, the closing process, everything that's required to guide your client from the first part to the last part. That's known as real estate practice, where you literally are practicing the art of real estate by helping others either buy or sell property. So the Real Estate Commission, once again, wants to make sure that you have some fundamental understanding of these processes before you actually leap into helping somebody with real estate matters. So again, helping somebody with real estate matters. If it's not your own property, you're helping somebody else, and you're expecting some form of compensation, then you need to have a real estate license. Do you need to have a real estate license to sell your own house, to rent your own property, to lease out your own property? No, you do not. But the minute that you rent it for somebody else, the minute you lease it for somebody else, the minute you sell it for somebody else, then you do need a real estate license for that. Okay. So that answers that. Do you need to go to school to be a real estate agent? Yes. As I can tell you, the 75 hours are required so that you may be able to conduct your real estate business. Do I have to sit in the classroom or take my real estate courses? Now that's interesting. There are actually 3 different ways that you can actually take a real estate course, ladies and gentlemen. The first way, the preferable way today, is the live streaming class, the virtual classes, where you get to see me, talk to me, ask me questions just as if you were sitting in the classroom, but you're sitting in the comforts of your own home, sitting in the waiting room here, and you can have the computer on, and boom, you're in my class just like you are right now. So the only difference is, instead, in this Zoom platform, I can't hear you, you can't talk to me. But if you were logged into my classroom, Then I'd be able to hear you, you'd be able to hear me, I'd be able to ask questions, you could ask me questions just as we were sitting in the classroom. So the first of the 3 platforms that you can take today to get a real estate license is a live streaming class. And they run anywhere from $300 to $900. And again, as I said, they're more suitable for those who don't want to travel, who don't want to be in a live person session, and is on a very tight schedule, especially when they come home from work and they got to try to make dinner or the kids are in school and this is the time that they can do the classes. And so the live streaming platform works very, very well for most of our audience today. Then you have the second choice, which is your online courses. Here's where you don't have anybody to deal with. There's no support staff. It is a program. It could be a PowerPoint presentation, a PDF format. It could be in video format, and Word and so forth. And these classes run anywhere from 200 hours to 800 hours, but they're not for everybody either, because some folks, if you don't understand what you just read, if there's nobody to ask a question to, then this learning curve of an online course might not be the best route. And then the third option that we have, ladies and gentlemen, is the in-person live classes, which we're going to start going back to, I don't know when, to be honest with you. My school is still going to be running everything live streaming. And here's why. The disruptors and the lawsuits. The disruptors. You're a student sitting in the classroom, and the person next to you is coughing up a storm. The person next to you is sneezing. Do you not think that these things would be a little bit of a disruptor to your learning if we're in a live setting and we have sneezing and coughing going on, especially today? Also, the school can still be sued from anybody catching COVID while in the classroom. You can be sued for any reason whatsoever today, ladies and gentlemen. So why take another option or take another risk if you don't have to? So my schools are conducted live streaming. And if you read my reviews, you'll see that everybody loves the platform. They love the way I put it together. I'm still improvising. I'm still working on it as we go along. But it's coming along very nicely. The students really do like it, ladies and gentlemen. So, just coming in off the road, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize. And so, still getting the dust out of my eyeballs from the road. So I apologize. So, okay, so. Those are the 3 ways to take a class. You could do a live streaming class, you could do an online course, and we can do in-person classes. Now, is getting a real estate license worth it? Next question. Yes. But it's not for everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Not everybody that takes my class is there to get a real estate license. Some are there just for the knowledge. I know a lot of students who are in the process of buying a property, and they decided, wisdom, wise choice, to take this class in the process of buying a property so they can have the knowledge of knowing what to expect, what hurdles to go through, what the agent should and should not be saying, and what the agent is and is not saying to them. So taking this class and being in the process of being a buyer or an investor or a seller even is a wise choice. So not everybody's in the class for a real estate license. Many take this class and they take it over and over again for the knowledge. And that's another thing about my school, ladies and gentlemen. Online Real Estate School Inc.com, Online Real Estate School Incorporated. Once you pay for my class, ladies and gentlemen, you never have to pay again. You're welcome to come back to the class anytime you want, over and over and over again, free of charge. No other school offers this. So this is why I said some of my students, they really love the platform. They actually love to come back to the platform. They like sitting in the class. They like being part of the camaraderie. And so some are just back in the class just to continue learning, because you always pick up one new thing each time you go along. And so that's what I really like about our classes. It's really kind of a community. Students have been coming back and forth to the classes over and over again for quite a while. So it's a very nice community that we're developing with Online Real Estate School, with not just the students, but afterwards. Because we'll talk about how I take the students to the next level with brokerage. I own isrealty.com, Is Realty, which is ISS Realty, and I started that real estate office that brokerage just to take new students and teach them how to develop a real estate business, because it's hard to find brokers out there, ladies and gentlemen. The brokers are building their business and they don't have a lot of time to work with brand new agents as they're building their brokerage, so they would prefer to work with more seasoned agents if possible. And so hiring a brand new agent has a lot of work involved with showing that agent the steps, cultivating the agent's comfort zone, getting them comfortable with running a business. Because a lot of new agents, when they become a licensed real estate professional, they don't understand that they're going to be running their own business. And so that's what I like about my school. My school preps them to run a business as they're prepping to pass the real estate exam. And so we teach you how to run a real estate business while you're in the classroom, and then after you graduate and get your real estate license, my brokerage is one of many that offer brokerage opportunities, but my brokerage is one of the few that specializes in brand new agents and helping them get to the next level. So it's Realty, and we'll talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Look, here we go. Here's an example. I got 2 deals. Notice the consumer, notice the first deal. This is my 5th deal. 5 deals. So let's just take this. I like working with the sellers, like working with the buyers. That's my business, and I like the real estate business. One property is $170,000. I negotiated a 7% commission. That's a $12,000 commission check, ladies and gentlemen. The other property is a $400,000 property. I negotiated a 5% commission. That's a $20,000 commission. And the other property that I just landed is a $500,000 property. Negotiated a 6% commission on that, and that is a $30,000 commission. If you add up your numbers, 30 plus 20 plus 12, you're at $62,000, ladies and gentlemen, with just these 3 deals. So is it worth it becoming a licensed real estate agent? And then one of my questions is, how much money does a real estate agent make? So I just showed you 3 deals. I listed 1 property, and you know what? I'll even share with you, ladies and gentlemen, because that one there is getting ready to be marketed. So that one there is 5937 Media Street. So I'm dropping. Nobody even knows about this property on the market yet, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll break it to you. 5937 Media Street, Southwest Philadelphia, ladies and gentlemen. This is a beautiful property, moving condition. You ever see those seminars where all you need is carpet and painting to move into a great investment property? Well, this is it. Very good property, and I bring it up to my students. We'll make it part of the project for the students to see what offer would you make on this. If you're the real estate agent, how would you handle this particular property? It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath home. The owner's asking $170,000 for the property. As I said, we got properties going all the way up to $185,000, but this property does need a little bit of work. It doesn't need a lot. Just touch-ups, paint, carpet, really. And so $170 is the asking price. It'll go quickly. Nobody else knows about it. Didn't put it out there yet. So there's one that I just gave you the address on. That is 5937 Media Street. That's coming up, ladies and gentlemen, at $170. Again, that is a negotiated commission of 7% and $12,000. So that basically means the way that this works in the real estate business, ladies and gentlemen, now that I am representing the seller, and the seller's my client, the seller has hired me to sell their property. Now, notice what I'm doing. I'll get the word out to everybody that the property's available for sale. But before I put it in the MLS to the other real estate agents, I like to use my database to let everybody know that I got a property available before anybody else knows about it. So you guys have first dibs. So this particular property, 5937 Media Street, and you'll be able to go to my website. It's not in my website just yet. We just landed these, but you'll see it. I'll have it in there by the end of the night, ladies and gentlemen. issrealty.com. issrealty.com. And we'll have it in there by the end of the night. We just picked these up, ladies and gentlemen, literally getting off the road. And so literally doing a few things as we go along. So 5937 Media Street. Beautiful property, ladies and gentlemen. Paint, carpets, up to all it needs to be updated. moving condition, 170, negotiated a 7% commission. That's $12,000 right there, ladies and gentlemen. I have another property here. Let's give you the address on this one. This one's up there in Northeast Philadelphia, ladies and gentlemen. And this one will be coming in at, what do we have here on the address on this one here? Give me 1 second. This one here is 1103 Foster Street, ladies and gentlemen. 1103 Foster Street. And what we have here in this situation, we're going $400,000 on this one here. $400,000. That's what we're pulling in the area. I'm sure nobody knows about this one, ladies and gentlemen. This is literally no one knows about this one. The ink is just drying on this deal. And this is a beautiful area right off of Bustleton Avenue up there, and negotiated a 5% commission on that one. So I represent the seller on that. There's $20,000 in commission right there, ladies and gentlemen. So 1103 Foster, and then we have here 5937 Media Street. Both properties are now available for sale, but nobody else knows about them except you on this show right now. And my database later on tonight is Realty, ISSRealty.com. You can go on my website and see these properties and the pictures of the property and so forth. But no other real estate agent's really going to know about it. It's going to be what we call a back pocket deal. And then I just listed another property, $500,000. I won't give you the address on that. We're still waiting for one more signature on that one. But I negotiated a 6% commission on that, $30,000. So that gets us back to our questions, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not trying to brag here. I'm trying to answer these questions that we have. And the question is, how much money do you make as a real estate agent? For the most part, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see all kinds of resources telling you right around $80, $81, $82, $84, $87,000 a year. That seems to be the norm for most real estate agents, but I always think you should be making over $100,000, ladies and gentlemen. And again, as I said, even if I take half of this commission, $30,000 in half this commission, do you not see that I'm well on my way to do over $100,000 this year? Because that was only 3 deals. So keep these things in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Is it worth having a real estate license? Absolutely. You can't do real estate without it. Is the money good in real estate? I think so. It's the most money I ever made in my entire lifetime, ladies and gentlemen. And so the real estate business and that real estate license is a golden ticket to allow me to earn this kind of income, and it allows me to help others. I'm helping 3 different sellers here work out properties for them to sell, properties that they're no longer interested in having as their needs in life have changed. And so now it's time to move on. And see, that's the other good thing about this, ladies and gentlemen. When you're helping somebody sell the property, then you're going to need to help them buy another property as well. So the revenue keeps coming in as you are going along in this situation. And it's a great business to run. If you ever want to get into a business, being in the real estate business is a great business. And so that brings us right to the next question. Segue, is the real estate a good career? Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. I can't. Listen, it's not only a great career, it's a great hobby. It's a great second source of income. It's a great part-time job. It's a great career. It's a great socializing gathering, and so it really serves a lot of purpose. Let's say you're retired and you don't really want to work, but you do like to social gather. You would still like to help people out with every now and then. Being in the real estate arena serves that purpose. It allows you to make a little extra money on the side where you don't really want to work, and it allows you to help individuals along your journey. Let's just say that you're fresh out of high school and you're thinking about getting into a business, and you know right out of high school you want to get into real estate. Getting a real estate license right out of high school, powerful stuff right there. Maybe you're a stay-at-home mom. All right, got a couple kids and you want to make some extra income? Do you think the real estate business and the stay-at-home business is a great business? Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. I just sold a property to a woman in China. Never stepped foot in this continent. All I did was take a video of the property. We did foreign tax exchange. It was a wire transfer. Now she's got me managing the property for her. See the other four source of income that you got coming in. So we're going to be talking about this in a little bit. But notice this platform that I'm using. I'm using a Zoom platform to communicate with you. This form of communication is a lot more prevalent today than it's ever been. And in the real estate business, ladies and gentlemen, especially being a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad, stay-at-home parent, and you can't leave the property, but you still want to do business, look at what you can achieve with video and Zoom and live streaming in the real estate business, ladies and gentlemen. It's a perfect hobby. It's a perfect stay-at-home business. It's a perfect career right out of high school, right after you're 30, after you're 40, after you're 50, ladies and gentlemen. So, yes, real estate. Two things that people will always need: food and shelter. So you got a product that's never going to be going out of style. And if you really want to make a lot of money and you want to have a satisfying and rewarding life, then real estate really is an avenue you should be pursuing. Do you need good credit to be a real estate agent? No. Your credit and your credit report is not a factor in becoming a real estate agent. However, your credit report does have an impact on insurance, and you do need certain insurance in the business, like your auto insurance, E&O insurance, maybe you want life insurance. These are insurance policies that you would want, but your credit score could affect your premiums, but you don't need a good credit score to become a real estate agent. Your credit score has nothing to do with you becoming a real estate agent. What is the process to become a real estate agent? Well, truly, it's a 5-step process to become a licensed real estate agent. Step 1, to become a real estate agent, you have to understand the requirements, the 75-hour class requirements that the state requires of you understanding real estate practice and real estate fundamentals. So step 1 is understanding what the state requires you to know to be in this arena. Step 2, becoming a real estate agent, you have to now enroll in a pre-licensed class. It could be a course, it could be an in-person class, it could be a live streaming class. Make sure that the school that you are enrolling in is registered with the state. You can check your credentials with the Bureau of Professional and Occupational Affairs, put in the license number, put in the name of the school, put in the name of the instructor, and see if any infractions or infringements, or if they're licensed or not licensed facility before you go any further. So if you're taking this live streaming class right now, then you are pursuing real estate one way or another, and this is giving you more research on my style as the instructor. Do I blend in with your learning style? Do I rub you wrong? So this gives you a chance to interview me, see me, my style, because I'm the one that you're going to be spending 75 hours with. So is my voice irritating? Is my looks distracting? Very rarely do you actually get to meet the instructor before you sign up for a class. You usually get to meet them afterwards, and then you get to decide if you liking their style or not liking their style. Do they seem a little slim shady? Do they seem a little slippery when wet? So you have to be careful. There's a lot that you won't like and will like. I'll try to incorporate a lot of humor, but again, as I said, the real life events really does make the class very inactive or very active. Okay, so step 2, becoming a real estate agent, is enrolling in a pre-licensed course. Step 3, to become a real estate agent, apply to take the real estate salesperson exam. Remember when I shared the screen with you with PSI Testing Center? Well, this is what you're going to have to do. When you come to a class like mine, ladies and gentlemen, 75-hour class, you'll take 2 exams in the 75-hour class. You'll take an exam for real estate practice, and then you'll take an exam for real estate fundamentals. These 2 prep exams are qualifying you to take the state exam with PSI.com. You will not be able to take the PSI exam unless you have your transcripts from the school that says you have your attendance for 75 hours and you pass both class test questions. Tests. So you passed real estate practice in my school. It's a 55 question exam. So 55 questions for real estate practice. You need to get 32 of the 55 correct. And then the following month, 55 questions for real estate fundamentals. You got to get 32 correct. Once you get both my exams correct and you pass them, that qualifies you to take the state exam, PSI, and the state exam is $49, ladies and gentlemen. But you cannot take the state exam until after you take the licensed schooling, 75 hours. So that's step 3. Take the real estate exam to become the licensed real estate agent. Step 4, to become a real estate agent, you need to pass the real estate salesperson's exam. Taking the exam's one thing, passing it and getting the license is another. The day that you pass your real estate exam, ladies and gentlemen, you are at that moment a licensed real estate professional in the state of Pennsylvania. You're not legally allowed to operate yet, but you are officially licensed as a real estate professional in the state of Pennsylvania after you pass the exam. And that will bring us to step 5. Becoming a real estate agent, you need to find a broker. You need to affiliate yourself with a broker. But broker's not the only way to go, ladies and gentlemen. Broker is the only way to go as far as your licensing goes. But you don't have to work for a brokerage company. You can work for a management company or a leasing company under a real estate broker. You can work for a developer under a real estate broker. You can work for a Fortune 500 company or a franchise under a real estate broker. And so there are different avenues that you can take with your real estate license, ladies and gentlemen. Not everybody's going to be comfortable with trying to make commission. Not everybody wants to get into the real estate business to help people buy and sell property. A lot will get into the real estate business to do property management, to do apartment rentals and leasing. So they don't want to be in the sales oriented. They're more into the management, the leasing, the rental aspect of it. But you need a real estate license for that avenue. Or maybe you're not into representing buyers and sellers, but you're into developing and building properties, or then working with the developer to sell those properties for them. Of course, you need a real estate license for that. And then maybe you would want to go work for a Fortune 500 company, like a franchise, for instance. Wawa is always expanding. McDonald's is always expanding, and they're always looking. Dunkin' Donuts, ladies and gentlemen, these are franchises as well as corporations, and they're in the real estate business. It's not like they can just mail order a Big Mac to someone. You got to be in the real estate business. You got to have location. So new location is always being sought, and a lot of these businesses are franchise. So you could literally be working for the franchisee or the company, depending on how you have it structured. So there's a lot of ways of making money with that real estate license, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of options of what you want to do. But the most money that you're ever going to make in the real estate business is by sales in the commission arena. It's going to be the most money that you're going to make in the real estate business. Okay. So just reading our questions as we are going along, ladies and gentlemen. So I see, okay, very good. Got your live questions as we're going along right now. So let's go on to our next question here, ladies and gentlemen. What jobs can you get with your real estate license? Yeah, so like I was just saying, that answered that question right there. You can go work for Fortune 500 companies. You can go work for brokerage. You can work for developers. You can work for property managers. You can work for leasing companies. There are a lot of different avenues of which you can do, and a lot of different forms of income that you can make with that real estate license. How much money does a real estate agent make a year? Okay, so a little redundant on the questions. I believe that every agent agents should be making $100,000 a year and better. When you work for my brokerage after you're done your class, I'm going to show you how to structure your real estate business and do your business plan, show you exactly how to prospect, how to market, how to service, and run a real estate business. If you run a real estate business properly, you should always do $100,000 a year every year, ladies and gentlemen. That should be really the minimum requirement for your real estate business, that you should be making at least $100,000 a year. But on average, the average real estate agent makes right around, I don't know, $60,000 to $80,000, ladies and gentlemen, because a lot of agents, you have to understand, when you become a licensed real estate professional and you're running your own business, you got to motivate yourself. And it's not always easy for people to motivate themselves. It's so easy to be lazy. It's so easy to say, not today. I'm going to sit on the sofa today. I'm going to take the day off. Because in the real estate business, you don't have a boss. You'll have a broker, but there's nobody to tell you, get your butt into work. You work 9 to 5 or you're fired. So it doesn't work like that as your own business owner, having a real estate license, you run your own business, you're going to have to learn to motivate yourself. And it's easy to be lazy. So because it's easy to be lazy, a lot of agents make $60,000 to $80,000 a year only because they just didn't push themselves to make over 100, over 200,000. Now you're really pushing yourself. But we do have agents that know how to push themselves. We also have agents, ladies and gentlemen, that don't push themselves. They only work a couple months out of the year. And what do? They work May, June, July, August, September. These are the months that they work in the real estate business. They hammer it out. May, June, July, August, September. And then they take all winter off on cruises, on the islands, vacationing in someplace warm. And so they only work like 5-6 months out of the year. And then they enjoy 3 or 4 months on vacation. So it depends on how you want to earn and how you want to live, what kind of style you want to do, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to sell your heart and soul to the real estate business to make a lot of money in the business. You don't. You really don't. You can have a very good active life and make a good chunk of change in the real estate business. Okay, so the sky's the limit really on the money you can make. I think $100,000 should be the minimum. How do real estate agents get hired? Okay, now again, as I said, especially if you're a brand new real estate agent, ladies and gentlemen, you're just starting out, you don't have any experience, and this is okay in the real estate business because a lot of brokers that work with brand new agents would prefer a clean canvas, would prefer that you don't have any bad habits to need to be washed up and cleaned out. So having a brand new agent and starting out with a brand new agent and clean canvas is a good start. So you don't need a lot of experience when you're interviewing brokers. Keep that in mind. But when you are interviewing brokers, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to understand that you're not applying for a job. You're applying for a business partnership. And so what you're doing when you interview the broker is asking the broker, what do they have? What platform do they have that's going to help you take your business to the next level? A lot of brokers will have a lot of the bells and whistles. So we got cruises every year. We have limos. We have great advertisement specs and everything. And that broker has figured out a way to build their brokerage business by offering their agents all these benefits: a cruise, business cards, refer, and you don't have to pay anything. So a lot of brokers have designed their business platform to cater to the agents, but I designed my brokerage to cater to the clients. And so our job has always been to cater to the clients, to represent the clients. So what I like to do is take the agents, the new agents, and teach them how to run a business that we're representing the clients. The money and everything comes after knowing how to run the business. So I don't offer all the bells and whistles like a lot of brokers do. I basically offer a business concept to my agents to teach them how to run a business to be successful. So that each broker has something that they're going to offer. Some have a beautiful ambiance office. Some like to offer 100% commission, but 100% of nothing is nothing. And some brokers like myself offer my agents leads. buyers and sellers who are looking and ready to go. So, and again, helps you run a business. So, how do you get real estate agents get hired? You got to interview brokers, ladies and gentlemen, and you got to find out what they're offering, as well as what the charges are. What does it cost to work here? A lot of brokers have sign-on fees, office fees, copy fees, phone fees, toilet paper fees. I kid you not. So you're going to have to understand what the charges are. A lot of, especially the franchises, ladies and gentlemen, the franchises have fees on top of fees to be creative, profit sharing, and so forth. Fees on top of fees. So I teach you in my class how to interview the brokers and what questions to ask for and what to be looking out for. Most real estate schools would not do this. So you're going to have to learn how to interview the broker, ladies and gentlemen. How often do real estate agents work? Now, that's a good question. It's up to you. Some agents work 20-hour work weeks. Some agents work 120-hour work weeks. So it really depends on you. You're running a business. How successful do you want your business to be? Do you want your business to be just a part-time business to substitute your full-time job? Then in that situation, you're going to be working 5, 10, 20-hour work weeks because it's a part-time job. Do you want to be full-time and do it 60 hours, 80 hours, 40 hours, 120 hours? Again, as I said, you don't have to sell your soul to the business. Some like to in the beginning, first 3 to 5 years, knock it out, do as much as we can, establish it. Others like to draw it out a little bit longer. Others are seasonal agents. They just work part-time and they enjoy the off season. So it's up to you on how many hours a day or a week or a month you want to work. What is the job of a real estate agent? Now, that's a good question. What is the job of a real estate agent as our clock is ticking down? So a couple more questions. The job of a real estate agent, ladies and gentlemen, is to represent. That's the job of a real estate agent. And who do we represent? We represent the client. Is the client the buyer? Then if the client's looking to buy a property, then we represent the buyer. Let me give you an example. The buyer is looking for a property around $180,000. They're looking for 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom with a yard, maybe a porch, and they're looking in the 19111 zip code. All right, just making them up as I go along. All right, so that means the buyer's looking for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath home, yard, porch, $180,000 in the 19111 zip code. And our job is to make sure that the buyer's not overpaying for the property, that the buyer understands the process, that the buyer's ready, willing, and able, understands the time frames. And so our job is to represent. Let's say that our client's the seller. Our job is that the seller wants $180,000 for the property, and they would like us to get this property sold within the next 90 days. Then that is our job, to represent the seller and try to get the property sold for their asking price within a time frame that they have hired us to get it done. So what is the job of a real estate agent? In a nutshell, to represent. To represent the client. Could be the buyer, it could be the seller. It could be the landlord, it could be the tenant. All right, so our job is to represent the parties, and it depends on who we are representing. Last question, ladies and gentlemen, on tonight's session. How long does it take to start making money as a real estate agent? Well, it's a good question to end it on, ladies and gentlemen. So, most agents will flutter after they take a class, because the schools don't usually teach them how to run a real estate business, and they don't know exactly which direction to do or how to go after they pass the real estate exam. And then once they do figure out how to work with a broker, that broker usually doesn't have a whole lot of guidance for them to help them make money more quickly. I always encourage my agents to start working with first-time buyers. First-time buyers is a very good transition as a new real estate agent. The first-time buyer doesn't care that you're a brand new agent. They don't care that you've been licensed a day, a week, a month, a year. They're going to be treating you like you've been in business for 30 years because they're a first-time buyer. And it's very easy to start working with the first-time buyers, especially as a brand new agent, to cultivate your business. And they're the most rewarding clients to have as well, your first-time buyers. They're going to remember you for all their days because you helped them buy their first property. You were there. So understand, ladies and gentlemen, that listen, I'm selling properties right now. I'm looking at offers right now and talking to you at the same time. So I apologize about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, 6 more minutes, and I'm trying to close the deal and talk to you at the same time. But that's the way the real estate business goes. So I do apologize. So, there is a lot of money to be made, but how soon can you start making money? I always tell everybody, ladies and gentlemen, you should have your first commission check within 90 days. A real estate deal from beginning to end takes anywhere from 30 to 90 days, and we don't get paid until we get to the settlement table. We get paid only by the broker. We're not allowed to receive any compensation up until the settlement, and we'll talk about this in the class, how you can get paid, who can you can take your money from, and so forth. And so 90 days, we get you started off right away with a first-time buyer, and you put an offer in, that offer is accepted, you can have your first commission check. And what could that first commission check be? I would say minimum $5,000 and upwards, but let's just figure $5,000 as a commission check. Could be much more than that. Could be more, but let's say 5,000. Then you can have that money within 90 days if everything goes well and you're working with a broker, and that's a good return on your investment. So let's talk about your investment right now, ladies and gentlemen, with the last 5 minutes that we have. You are now thinking about investing in yourself. You are now thinking about becoming a licensed real estate agent. You have been thinking about real estate for a while. You've done everything. You've done a lot of research. You've probably come to my class several times. You're glad that you did make the class. Hopefully the text that I sent you was a last minute reminder to come to the class. And so here's the investment that you're looking to make in yourself. You're looking to get into the real estate arena. You're looking to make a lot of money in the real estate, and you're looking to start a new business, and you're looking to help others, and you're looking for maybe a hobby as well. The real estate arena is going to be perfect, and then now you're going to invest in yourself, and that's really what you need to do first, ladies and gentlemen. You need to invest in yourself before you invest in the business. Learn the business, know your client, know your product, know your business. So this is what you're doing now. So it comes down to, now that you're close to making a decision, price. What is it going to cost? How is the class run? Online Real Estate School, ladies and gentlemen, offers 2 classes. We have a morning class, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Our next class starts April 5th is our next class. So we have a morning class, 9 to 1, which is a live streaming class. So you get to see me, talk to me, ask me questions, just as if you were sitting here in the classroom. And so Online Real Estate School, Inc., one of these days I'm going to learn to put it doesn't matter. Let's continue on. Anyway, so Online Real Estate School offers 2 classes. We have a morning class, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. And we also offer an evening class, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays as well, starting April 5th. That'll be our next class. It is 4 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, for one class, let's say real estate practice. So you're in my evening class, 6 to 10, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It'll be 4 weeks for real estate practice, and then it'll be an additional 4 weeks for real estate fundamentals. You need both of them to qualify to take the state exam. The cost is $299 for each class. It's $299 for real estate practice, 4-week class, and then the following month it's $299 for the 4-week class of real estate fundamental. And I broke it up this way to make it easier for you. This way here you pay $299 for the one class. If you decide that this is not working for you, you're not learning everything that you thought you were going to learn, then you don't have to make the investment in the second class, saving you another $300. So I broke it up this way to make life easy. So I offer a live streaming class where you get to see me, talk to me, ask me questions. In my class, not only am I going to teach you and prep you to pass the real estate exam, I'm also going to teach you how to run a real estate business. I'm going to teach you how to invest in property legally and ethically. I'm going to teach you easy ways of doing math through the 3 variable. As a matter of fact, that's our class tomorrow for my class that just graduated last week. We got our math class tomorrow. in our business class tomorrow. So I got to get prepped and ready for that. So I'm going to teach you how to invest in property. I'm going to teach you the easy way of doing math through the 3 variables. And I'm going to teach you long-term memory techniques in the classroom as well. No sense of learning if you can't memorize or remember everything that you're learning. So we'll teach you how the brain works, how the 2 hemispheres of the brains work, and teach you how to use your long-term memory as well as your short-term memory. You can go to my class. You can go to my website, onlinerealestateschoolinc.com. There it is right there. onlinerealestateschoolinc.com, and go to the live streaming classes. You can sign up for the live streaming class, $2.99. The next class is April 5th is our next class. And our next class after that is May 10th. It's a 1-month class for each class. We got morning class, evening class. Let me know which class you prefer, the morning class or the evening class. I'll be looking forward to seeing you in my classroom, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be looking forward to making you a real estate agent this year. And I'll be looking forward to teaching you how to run a real estate business this year, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've come to the conclusion and stop procrastinating. You've been procrastinating. You know it as well as I've been. You've been putting it off. No more excuses. Invest in it. I still believe that the real estate market's going to be very, very hot and active this year, even though we got a war, even though we got a recession, even though we got economic situations. I don't think the real estate business is going to be affected much. Interest rates are going to go up, yes, but it's not going to affect the seller so much. So we'll talk about that in my next class and in my live streaming classes in the real estate business. We'll be talking about that as well. So ladies and gentlemen, please leave a comment, please subscribe, please like, please help me bring this class to you. The only reason that I run this class every Monday is to be introductory, to introduce myself to future students so they get the chance to introduce themselves or see me and see what I'm going to be teaching in the classroom. So I do this every Monday as a courtesy to allow you to get the opportunity to meet me before signing up for the class. So I am Warren Nelson, ladies and gentlemen. I have all kinds of information and knowledge to share upon you if you come to my class. I own Online Real Estate School Inc. I own isrealty.com. I own many other businesses, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to go down the line here, but I'm going to teach you what it takes to run a business, and I'll show you exactly what it takes to be very successful in this arena. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for sharing this hour with me. This is Online Real Estate School Inc. that brought you this free live streaming class every Monday. I'm Warren Nelson. I look forward to seeing you in my classroom, ladies and gentlemen, and I look forward to making you a licensed real estate professional this year. Thank you. Enjoy. I'll see you when I see you.